So for public opinion this evening, we're asking your reaction to opposition leader Mark Golding calling for elections.
Mark Golding, him need to go sit down.
He's not being politically smart. He's going off what pollsters are saying that they are in the ascendancy. But the real picture on the ground belies those polls. At the same time, the only reason I can see Mark Golding pushing for an early general election is because he realizes that the Andrew Holness-led administration has already done all the heavy lifting and has disposed of all the contentious issues, which means that going forward, the PNP will have a very, very, very slim chance of winning the next election if the Andrew Holness administration is allowed to continue for another 2 years.
Mark Golding calling for early general election is just that he just want to seize the moment now because he think that the momentum is with him. So he just would love to seize that moment. But we know in the long run when time the election gets into a peak of form that Mark Golding will be nowhere to be found. Neither him nor his party. Because Jamaicans are not stupid. We know what they have done to us in 18 and broken years. And we will never forget it or forgive them. So Mark Golding does try to seize the moment now, but knowing in the long run, the cream is going to rise to the top. And Andrew Michael Holness is the cream. All right? So that's it.
It continues to demonstrate that Mark Golding is so obsessed with power.
All right. Let's get to it. Anthony Shakes on Facebook says he better be careful of what he's calling for. Horace Nelson says he's politically hungry for power. All right. Arlene Kelly, he will lose bigly. End of story. All right. Juliet Richards is questioning how Mark calling for election and his candidate's seat not ready. All right. Let's see. Carlene Smith says, Mr. Golding, with respect, your party is in no position to call for general election or any election. In fact, you should be calling for an extension beyond the date. Okay. Let's see. Nayoka says, all I can tell Mark that he will not be the prime minister. All right. Lorraine Mason says, what now? He better be careful what he's asking for. Dorothy is saying, Mark Golding, you will lose the election. Your party hasn't done anything much for Jamaica and Jamaicans. All right. Wow. Andrea Crossman says he's making a mockery of himself and the country at large. He don't even have a full slate of candidates. How can he lead the country when he can't lead the party? Wow. Not gonna lie, sometime I'm harsh with the politics, but guess what? It is your opinion. Salome Paul says if he really believes that his party is ready to take the reins of the country when the party is obviously in such disarray, then we don't need any more evidence on how he will run the country. It would be total chaos. All right. Wow. Sandra Murray, the time he takes calling for the election, he would go put the pieces of his party together. Ooh. Let me see if we can get some of the comments on our Twitter space. Don Messi says he and the PNP will lose both elections. Simple. He's just talking with no substance. All right, Dion Mitchell says Mark can't take on election right now. He doesn't even have all the candidates in place. His house in order? Is questioning, is his house in order? Let's see. Treporus says won't make a difference if it is called now or 2 years from now. They will remain in opposition. All right, Blazing Fires saying, I wonder if Mark Golding read the book about the shepherd boy crying wolf, wolf, wolf every day falsely. We all know that story. Annie Strong says it's not his call to make, and he wouldn't like the outcome right now. He needs to work harder at presenting a credible alternative, not just opposing the government. Grace Davidson says, I thought we all have local government election that is well overdue. How we gone to general? The PM has the call for general elections. I think it's full time. Jamaica has fixed election date that was promised by the PM. So we can't stop this madness. Okay. Bridget Watson said, call it, Andrew, call it. The result, 49 out of 14. 49-14. Wow. She's saying that Mark's memory is short. Oh. Lance Thompson says, if and when he becomes PM, him can do anything he wants to do. That day won't come in the meantime. Oh, wow. Let's see. The Silverman says he thinks he has an advantage, but all I hear is bad patois. Wow. Let me see some of the comments on our YouTube platform. Let's see. Motivator said me just pass couple open land that needs bushing in Mark's constituency. All right, wow. Gone to the constituency. All right, let me see if I can scroll up to get some of these comments. Sims Jason says, are you going to join me in okay, no, that's a different thing you're commenting on right there. Glenn Binns is questioning why PNP delaying the release of that poll Golding reference. Campbell said the poll shows PNP ahead and on the way to win the next general election, and he was about to release it. Oh, you're questioning why they're taking so long to release the poll, because at the constituency meeting in Highgate, St. Mary, he did say that they have the results. The results of the polls, they are yet to be made public, though. But Mark Golding says the PNP commissioned poll shows that the party is in a good position in relation to the governing JLP. Let's see if we can get some. Michael Ray says the last time the PNP said call it, Andrew, call it, when it was called, they lost. All right. Marcia Favor More Than a Conqueror says desperation leading to desperation. All right. Patrick Steele says, I believe the government should call the election as soon as it is possible. It is long overdue and the excuse for not calling it is flimsy. I suspect you're referring to the local government elections right there. Strong Link says the PNP idea of cleaning up a tourist resort was to truck. All right, so that's going off of what we're asking, Strong Link. But big up yourself. Thank you so much for commenting. Othman Morgan says Mark is immature. Who would call for election when the major jobs are yet to be done? Michael Bailey says Mark needs to go sit down. A lot of comments coming. Sandra Morris says this is desperate. Barrington Foster says the party can't win none of the two elections. Michael Bailey, Mark have several seats. All right. Let's see if we can get some more of the comments on our Twitter space. Pudding says he called for local government election, not general election. Okay. Glenroy Grant, Mr. Golding won't be the leader of the PNP after the next election. Oh, wow. All right. Let's see. While the People Suffer says we don't need an election, we need some of the members of the JLP gone. And CMAC says Mark need to go fix his party. He better be careful what he is wishing for. Jamaica citizen Mark Golding needs to. Wow, okay, I won't say that. I won't be saying that. I'm sorry. Bad news. The next election will be the greatest reserve of political fortunes in the history of Jamaica. Remember, Jamaica is a PNP country. That's coming from bad news. Blogging says his party isn't ready. He isn't ready. The crime in his constituency and other constituency higher. All right, a lot of comments coming in on this one. If you're just joining us, we're asking you your reaction to Mark Golding calling for local elections, local government elections. Sandra Murray continues to say, poor and desperate move. Jean Powell says, are we still a win? Are we still okay? Laura M. Lou says, Mark think we forget what his party did. All right, CJ Martinez says, I would like to see some of una face if PNP win. All right. Let's see. Yvonne Gordon says, why some persons so dishonest when they know the truth? Oh, I think you're referring to something else right there, Yvonne Gordon. But that's all the time we have for public opinion. Thank you guys so much for participating, as always. Remember